So then I began to ask God, like, why me? Just why me? Like, why? Like, why are you having me do this? Why are you choosing me to do this? Like, why me? When you ask God things, God will deliver. That's why it's like you can communicate with God, speak with God. God, allow that time and space for God to communicate with you because He will answer you. And there was a period here again in 2021 here where God was sending like old people, like from the past, old people that I must have done some stuff for, like, and they would come up to me like, you remember when you did this for me and X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, no, but it sounded like that's something I would do if you needed it, right? Somebody like, oh, you remember, I still remember what you told me to this day and all of this other stuff. I'm like, I wasn't even like in tune with myself, aware of myself. And God was bringing me into remembrance of all the things that I would do for people that I didn't even know. They would ask me for stuff. It's okay. I got you. He would bring all to my remembrance all of the times that I've volunteered, that I helped people. And he kept saying, it's because of your heart. It is because of your intentions. You do it because of you truly desire and want to help. And he said, that's why. And I'm like, but that's it. That's it. That's all that it takes. Like, and I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, okay, well, if it got to be me, cool, So I started trying to, plan out ideas. A lot of ideas was coming to me. I was writing them down. Now we're entering into 2022. I'm writing them down. And I'm planning things out. I start working on some of them, but it doesn't get far. I don't know. I maybe run into some roadblocks or run into something that hinders me from actually completing it. And then I kind of honestly forget about it. Now, during this time, I'm keeping to myself. I ain't talking to nobody, entertaining nobody really. And so then I met someone, but he was online, so he was super far away from me. And like something always happened, like when we were trying to meet up, something happened with me, then something happened to him, then stuff was happening. Now, give you a little backstory, like this man, he practiced voodoo, and how he explained to me voodoo works, I'm like, oh, I feel like what I do kind of aligns with voodoo, except the blood sacrifices and things of that sort. But besides that, like, I kind of feel like I do voodoo too. Hey, what he explained, it is what I do. And he was very knowledgeable, very educated. I really like that he was able to teach me and pour into me. Like, it's not a lot of people, especially still till this day, there's no one that can pour into me or teach me something. And that's really unfortunate, okay? I'm a young buck out here. Okay. And so we really could have went far. But again, in my energy field, I'm a very empathetic person. I feel things. Although I don't know why or where it's coming from, I just feel there was something off. I couldn't pinpoint it. So I don't know. I was trying to see if I can gauge it or get more if we hung out. But unfortunately, we never got that chance because he passed from a heart attack. And he was only in his 30s, 32 to be exact, which was quite sad, honestly, because he was so young and I did not understand how, why, right? So I was very devastated with that because I feel like we really would have went the length because, again, you teaching me something? Okay. We could have done something. But then that's where I realized, like, okay, I don't know how I perceived it is I just cannot keep engaging, or I can't engage with just anyone. I felt like, okay, I'm obviously meant for someone specific. I've always felt that way since I was younger. And so I felt like it would be inappropriate of me to keep entertaining people that God does not approve of. And so ever since then, I always ask God, is this the person? He tell me no. Okay. I don't end it right then and there. I'll see where it go, but eventually it's like deep down, I always keep in the back of my mind, it's not going to go anywhere. Because God said no, right? And if God said no, then no. And that's honestly for both parties' betterment. So it's like, I don't want to find out what's going to happen or whatever not if we kept going and maybe you ain't treating me right, or you don't have the right intentions for me, or you throwing me off course. I don't want to see or find that out, okay? So I really started being very particular in who I allowed access to me in my energy, because again, it's just for everybody's betterment. God has always looked out for his sis on multiple occasions that really could have been life-threatening, life-ending for myself. There was a time I was hanging out with my cousin at her house, and I was leaving her house about 1 o'clock in the morning, and she stays on a corner. And my car was parked across the street from her house. And so there are street lights there. And so the lights was green, but there's a truck that stops right directly in front of me and directly in front of my car. And it was tinted, but I can see that it's a car full of dudes, but the light is green. What is this truck stopping for? So in my mind, I'm sitting here trying to figure things out, like what I'm finna do. Like, if I scream, can my cousin hear me? Like, her house is all the way at the top, all the way in the back. Is she going to be able to hear me? I'm like, I got my mace, I got my taser, but it's all the way in my backpack. Am I going to have time to get it out? I'm sitting here trying to figure out what is the best case scenario that this is finna play out, because I know they're not up to any good. And I know they finna try to get us this. But God. So then a city bus, usually city buses go straight, right? No, this bus didn't go straight. This bus literally turned at the corner at my cousin's house and stopped right there in front of my cousin's house. It's no bus stop or right there, or no reason for that bus to have stopped. But the bus stopped right there, and he just sat there and waited. And so eventually that truck full of dudes left. And the bus driver was a man, a black man. Power to you, because you was my angel. He waved to me to like go. And I got in my car. He even waited till I drove off. Lord. Because that situation could have went differently. And after I drove off, he left. Like, but God, right? But God. And there was another situation here recently. I was at the doctor on my way home, almost home, finna, make a left, go into the inner streets to go to my house. And there was this big old truck speeding up the street, literally speeding for no absolute reason. Why are you speeding, sir? The speed limit is 35. What are you doing? But he lost control. Lord, and I'm in a left turning lane. I'm finna turn left. There's traffic on the side of me. This is a busy time, so there's no reason for this man to be speeding. And this man, I kid you not, was literally fin to run into me. Lord, and I couldn't turn left. I couldn't go anywhere. I was just stuck where I was. I kid you not. Again, here we go. Just like that, he quickly, it was a sharp turn basically, and he ran through a pole and then ran into a building. I pulled off. I didn't even look back. Because I was under the pole, the pole was near me. I didn't want the pole. I just, listen, I left quickly, but I was so shaken up, because if he would have ran full force into me, I guarantee you, I would not be here right now. The amount of speed, if he ran through a whole pole and then through a building, What was he finna do to my little old car and me? Yeah, he was finna run into me. And that was finna be the end of it. But, God.